There's a mysterious region above Earth where satellites malfunctioned. Astronauts experience strange radiation spikes, and scientists say it's growing every year. They call it the Space Bermuda Triangle. But what exactly is happening? And why here? Today, we uncover the mystery of the South Atlantic Anomaly. Welcome back to History Unsolved, where we uncover mysteries no one else dares to explain. Let's dive in. High above the South Atlantic Ocean lies a region unlike anywhere else on Earth, a weak spot in our planet's magnetic shield. Scientists call it the South Atlantic Anomaly, or SA. This is where the inner radiation belt, a band of highly energetic particles, dips closer to Earth's surface than it should, creating an invisible storm of charged particles. When satellites pass through the SAA, many experience glitches, corrupted data, or even complete shutdowns. The Hubble Space Telescope has to power down its sensitive instruments when it crosses this zone. Even the International Space Station, a marvel of modern engineering, reports increased radiation levels, posing a potential risk to the astronauts on board. It's a known hazard in low Earth orbit, a place where our technology is constantly being bombarded. So how did we even find out about this invisible danger zone? The mystery was first noticed decades ago when satellite operators saw something strange. Every time their spacecraft passed over the South Atlantic, their instruments would suddenly start failing. It was a consistent, baffling pattern. From the early NASA satellites of the 1970s to the modern GPS systems we rely on today, the same story keeps repeating, malfunctions occurring exactly over this one patch of Earth. It was like clockwork. This persistent problem forced scientists to map out the anomaly and acknowledge it as a permanent feature of our near-Earth environment. It wasn't a temporary glitch. It was a fundamental weakness in our planet's defenses. To understand why this is happening, we have to look deep inside our planet, all the way down to the molten metal moving in Earth's outer core. This churning liquid iron is what generates our protective magnetic field, the shield that deflects most of the sun's harmful radiation. But the field isn't perfectly uniform. Beneath South America and the Atlantic Ocean, scientists discovered something unusual. A massive region of unusually dense rock in the mantle called the African Large Low-Shear Velocity Province. This colossal underground structure, thousands of kilometers wide, might be disturbing the flow of the molten core beneath it, weakening the magnetic field directly above. So, the South Atlantic Anomaly isn't random. It could be the surface effect of enormous geological structures buried deep within our planet, a direct link between the deep Earth and the space above our heads. It is a fascinating reminder that what happens thousands of kilometers underground can have a direct impact on our multi-billion-dollar space infrastructure. Now, for the scariest part. It's growing. Over the last decade, scientists have noticed something alarming. The South Atlantic Anomaly is not only expanding westward at a rate of about 20 kilometers per year, but it's also splitting into two separate hot zones or lobes of minimum intensity. One is centered over South America, and a new one is developing over the southwestern coast of Africa. If this trend continues, it could disrupt more satellites, threaten the health of astronauts on long-duration missions, and fundamentally change how future space travel is planned. Navigating low Earth orbit could become even more challenging, with wider areas that need to be avoided or shielded against. This leads to an even bigger, more unsettling question. Are we losing Earth's magnetic field? Some researchers believe the SAA is not just an isolated weak spot, but part of a much bigger process. Earth's magnetic field is slowly weakening overall, at a rate of about 5% per century. Throughout our planet's history, the magnetic poles have flipped north, become south, and south becomes north. These reversals happened, on average, every few 100,000 years, and the process is driven by chaotic dynamics in the core. Many scientists believe we could be overdue for another one. The weakening field and the strange behavior of the South Atlantic Anomaly might be an early warning sign that we are entering the early stages of a planetary pole reversal. So what actually happens when a satellite flies through this zone? It's like driving a high-tech car through a radiation storm. The high-energy particles can wreak havoc. Camera sensors can be overwhelmed, producing glitchy images with bright pixels or static. Memory chips can get corrupted, a phenomenon known as a single-event upset, leading to data loss or incorrect commands. In severe cases, onboard computers can shut down completely, requiring a full reboot from ground control. Astronauts have even reported seeing visible flashes in their eyes, while passing through the SAA is caused by charged particles passing directly through their retinas, a direct biological interaction with space radiation. To protect their vital systems, some satellites are programmed to intentionally turn themselves off or go into a safe mode to survive the crossing. In response, space agencies around the world are racing to understand the anomaly. They are using dedicated satellite missions, like the European Space Agency's Swarm constellation, to map the magnetic field with incredible precision. They're recreating sophisticated computer models to predict how the anomaly will evolve, and designing future spacecraft with better shielding and more robust electronics to handle its dangerous radiation. But despite all this effort, the SAA remains a largely unsolved mystery. It's a dynamic, evolving feature of our planet that reminds us that even today, Earth holds secrets we are only just beginning to uncover. So, is the South Atlantic Anomaly a growing threat to our technological civilization, or just a strange quirk of our planet's magnetic soul? The truth is still unfolding, written in the heart of our planet and the space above. If you want more mysteries like this, subscribe to History Unsolved, and comment below, which unsolved mystery should we explore next?